And all the things that I've ever decided to do, this was strategic. And God catapulted me to the next level. My name is Mamiett Tucker. I am from Long Island, New York. My specialty is elementary school special education. And I have a deep love for intellectual abilities and disabilities as well. I was introduced to TENTMAKERS. I was nominated to go to a teacher's weekend where you first introduce the idea that Christ-centered teaching is possible. Prior to being introduced to TENTMAKERS, I've held my secular life and career outside of my spiritual life. And we all say that that's not what we do, but that is what we do. I got excited about what we get to create on the mission field. And then at the end of the weekend, the teacher's weekend, the 40-day program was just an extension of what was possible. And so I felt like if I've been this inspired in a weekend, how much more infectious can I be after 40 days? Started talking in my head, because we can always think about reasons why we can't take 40 days to become who we are becoming, or even take time to get closer to God in a way that we want to really do great exploits. And so I remember God speaking to me and saying, like, how many days are in a year? And I'm like, 365. And how old are you? 49. So how many days, how many 365s times 49 have I given you? And you really can't give me 40? And that's just how God deals with me. And I was like, yes, I can give you 40. I would just say the general highlight, first of all, is the experiential process. We know that we learn more when we do. So the entire 40 days was not just us receiving lectures about, how to be a Christian or how to live Christ-like. We were immersed fully in the opportunity to just be Christ-like people, and then committed to habit by going through these different experiences. Because I'm a preacher's kid, I've always looked at like fasting. It was always like either imposed on us. But being in a 40, that I didn't fast because I had to, like I got to fast. It took on an entirely different meaning for me. And what I realized was that, yes, eating gives comfort, but not in the areas that are most productive to me, right? And so I was hungry. I mistaken it for food. I was hungry for the word, the love, the community. I've done some really great things in life. And even with that, most of it has been distractions. But when you intentionally mute the distractions with solitude, meditation, the word of God, worship, and all the other things that we do here, it just becomes a small and almost mute sound. But one of the things that I've always felt ineffective so much in is defending the faith. And so one of the biggest things for me was the Jesus following skills, where we talked about the authority of the Bible. But to leave loving God more, but being able to explain and defend what I believe in, why I believe in it, and feeling very, very, very confident and defend what I believe in and give valid reason is more than I could have asked for here in these 40 days. I saw my life begin to change after week 1. But to be more specific, I'm more focused. I'm more intentional about developing the skills that cause me to be like Christ. We have the bad habit of taking an infinite God and squeezing them into our finite minds. There is no one way to do anything. And so I am so open to connect with Christ-centered people, and that's not a denomination. That's not religion. Religiosity divides us. Christ's love is what unites us. And that's been the biggest takeaway for me, because I have been a part of just a denomination that, and no one said to me like our way is the right way, but somehow or another we walk away thinking that. That's not true. We're one church. Christ-centered, Christ-believing individuals who are very much concerned about developing missionaries, whether it's the mission field here at home or the mission field abroad. We are one. The biggest challenge I faced at the 40 is getting over myself. There are ways of being that we have been stuck in that hinder us from moving forward into possibility. So there was nothing about the program that I couldn't do. It's just that a lot of people, which I would say is everybody, we are stuck in doing those things the way that we normally do it. But that is the biggest hindrance to new possibility. Getting over old disempowering habits that are no longer serving you, the community, or the world. Identifying them and moving in committed action to have them disappear so that new ways of being can show up before you leave. And so to be able to live in 40 days and create a habit, God-centered and Christ-centered habits, you can't leave here from the 40 and not be changed and transformed from your mind to habits to thoughts. There is a living, breathing presence of God in this wilderness experience. And for that, anybody that has never had a touch from God, that wanted more touch from God, or just want to be able to understand what this Christ-centered life is about, it is worth the 40 days to come and spend it here with God, with loving and caring staff, and other God-centered members that have the same interest in mind. And that's just living life as Christ did. Simply that. It is worth the 40 days